Imagine this. It's the 89th minute, championship final. Your team has just scored. The stadium explodes. You, screaming from your living room, spill your drink as your hands go up. This is it. But then, a pause. The camera cuts to the referee, hand to ear, eyes looking far beyond the field. Then the graphic, VAR check in progress. Just like that. The moment is frozen. All that joy, suspended in time. And then, goal cancelled. Why? A foot offside. A foul 30 seconds before. Or some other mystery reason we might never fully understand. When VAR, Video Assistant Referee, was introduced, it was promised to be the great equalizer. A way to finally bring objectivity to the world's most emotional sport. No more unjust goals. No more game-changing mistakes. Just truth. Clear, irrefutable, technological truth. But has it really delivered? Let's dive in. The origins of VAR. The idea behind VAR is older than you think. Even in the 1990s, broadcasters were already using slow-motion replays and multiple angles to point out refereeing errors. The technology existed, but football resisted. Why? Because football, unlike American football or tennis, was always proud of its flow, its organic chaos, its imperfections. A bad call? Part of the game? A controversial goal? Fuel for the passion. A mistake? A talking point for generations. But the mistakes kept growing. And in the age of social media, they couldn't be ignored. In 2010, a clear goal by England's Frank Lampard against Germany was missed. The ball crossed the line, completely, but no goal was given. The outcry was global. The world saw it. The referees didn't. And FIFA had to respond. By 2016, VAR was officially tested by the International Football Association Board. The goal, not to erase mistakes completely, but to correct clear and obvious errors. It wasn't meant to be used for everything. Just the big stuff: goals, red cards, penalty decisions, mistaken identity, 4 things. That's it. But humans love gray areas. What exactly is a clear and obvious error? How much time can pass before a foul invalidates a goal? Should intention matter? Should context? Suddenly the simple system was already becoming complicated. The first tests. The first major appearance of VAR came in the 2018 FIFA World Cup. At first, fans were skeptical. Would it ruin the rhythm? Would it cause delays? Would it kill emotion? But then, it worked. Or so it seemed. Key decisions were made correctly. Penalties awarded. Goals rightfully cancelled. And fans, even the skeptics, began to accept it. It was new. It felt high-tech. It felt modern. But behind the screens, VAR was already creating a new kind of drama. A drama with fewer cameras on it. A drama of who gets to choose what the world sees. The invisible power. Here's something most people don't think about. When you watch a VAR decision happen on screen, you're not seeing all the available footage. You're seeing what the broadcaster chooses to show, which may not be what the VAR officials are looking at. And even they, those in the room, don't look at everything. They choose what to focus on. They interpret what they see. They advise the referee. The referee decides. It sounds organized, controlled, systematic. But in reality, it's people, with opinions, under pressure, making fast calls, about games that move millions. Think of it like this. VAR was designed to add clarity, but it only works if the people behind it are unbiased, consistent, and transparent. The problem is, human beings aren't very good at those things. Case study. The fine line. Let's talk about offside. Theoretically, offside is binary. You're either on or off. But VAR brought something new. The frame. Which frame do you freeze the video on? The moment the passer's foot touches the ball? A millisecond before? After? In a fast-paced sport like football, that tiny difference can equal a whole footstep. And that footstep can cancel a goal. Add to that, the drawing of lines. VAR systems use software to draw those famous blue and red lines on screen. But who calibrates the line? What if the angle is slightly off? Small margins. Huge consequences. That's not to say VAR always gets it wrong. It gets a lot of things right. Clear fouls ignored on the field are now punished. Fakers are exposed. Some injustices have truly been reversed. But fans aren't angry because VAR exists. They're angry because it's selective, because it feels like it doesn't always serve the truth, just a version of it. Now imagine this. 2 games, same type of foul. In one game, it's reviewed. In the other, it's ignored. Why? Different referees, different leagues, different stakes. You start to wonder, is VAR truly a system, or is it a new language, spoken differently by whoever is in charge that day? Let's go deeper, because behind every slow-motion replay, every drawn offside line, every pause in celebration, there's something bigger. Power VAR was supposed to take the game out of human hands, but in many ways, it has done the opposite. It's moved the decision-making from the open field into a quiet, distant control room, and with it, moved the influence. Let's start with something simple. Referees are not machines. They are people, with histories, biases, reputations, and in some cases, agendas. Now with VAR, those biases don't disappear. They just wear a headset. In Spain, 2021, El Clásico, Real Madrid versus Barcelona. A penalty decision against Barcelona sparks outrage. VAR review confirms the penalty. But hours later, fans begin dissecting the angles. Another camera angle, not shown during the match, suggests minimal contact. Why wasn't that angle used? Why wasn't it shown? The answer is, no one really knows, and that's the problem. VAR was meant to add truth, but when truth depends on the angle you choose to show, what is truth? Transparency was promised, but in most leagues, the VAR conversations aren't public. Who said what? Why did they say it? Why was this reviewed, and not that? The silence is deafening. Now let's zoom out. The modern game is more than a sport. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Broadcast rights, sponsorships, gambling, global branding. One team's success can affect share prices. One tournament scandal can shift international politics. So ask yourself, in this high-stakes world, can we be sure that VAR decisions are made in a vacuum? Free from pressure. Free from influence. Let's look at a few more cases. Italy. Serie A 2022. In a tight title race, Juventus gets a late penalty via VAR. The call is debatable at best. Within minutes, social media explodes. Slow motion suggests simulation, but the game is over. The result stands. A week later, the same kind of foul goes unpunished for a smaller club. No review, no explanation. This inconsistency is what kills trust. Fans don't need perfection. They need fairness. They need consistency, and VAR, despite all its promises, often fails at both. Now let's go to South America. Copa Libertadores, the final. 2020. A goal is ruled out after a long VAR check. But fans later discover that one of the VAR officials had previously worked for the winning team's media partner. Conflict of interest? Coincidence? Again, no official statement, no investigation. In the absence of answers, speculation thrives. And it's not just speculation, it's psychology. VAR changes how players play, how coaches coach, and how fans feel. The spontaneous joy of a goal is now followed by fear. Is it offside? Was there a foul in the build-up? Will it be taken away? This uncertainty, this delay, changes the emotional rhythm of the game. Some say that's the price of accuracy. Others say it's the death of soul. But let's talk about data. Because VAR, at its core, is a system of data interpretation, and data can be shaped, framed, guided. The way an incident is clipped, the frame that's frozen, the speed of the replay, all influence perception. In marketing, this is called framing. In politics, it's called spin. In football, it's called VAR. Let's go back to 2018, World Cup Final, France versus Croatia. A handball is called inside the box after a long VAR check. Controversial? Extremely. The ball hits the hand, but is it deliberate? Natural position? Even? The commentators were split, but the referee points to the spot. Goal. France leads. They go on to win. Croatian players argue. Fans debate for years, and to this day, many believe the call changed the match. VAR didn't remove controversy. It redefined it. So, where does this leave us? We have the tech, the screens, the slow-mo, the lines. But do we have the trust? And if fans don't trust what they see, or worse, what they're not allowed to see, then what's the point? VAR was supposed to bring peace of mind. Instead, it's created a new battlefield, a battle between perception and reality. And in football, that battle might be the hardest one to win. Let's be honest. When people say, VAR is rigged, or big clubs always get the call, it's easy to dismiss them as emotional fans. Angry, frustrated, just looking for someone to blame. But what if some of them aren't wrong? The roots of suspicion. Football is the world's most popular sport. It's not just a game, it's business, it's power, it's politics. Billions of dollars move with every goal, every trophy. Club owners are billionaires. Sponsorships are worth millions. One decision can change everything. So ask yourself, if a sport is this powerful, is it really immune to manipulation? Silent influencers. VAR isn't just a tool, it's an interface between the invisible and the visible. You don't see the person controlling the angles. You don't hear the full conversation between the VAR booth and the referee. You don't know who selects what's shown to broadcasters or what isn't. This opacity feeds doubt, and where there is doubt, theories grow. Let's talk about one of the most viral theories. UEFA doesn't want small teams in the final. It sounds crazy, but then you look at some matches, you see soft penalties or strange offside calls, and you start wondering, coincidence or influence? When Real Madrid always seems to get a late penalty, when Manchester City's goals are ruled on lines too close to trust, when a small club is denied a clear decision, it doesn't matter if it's true. What matters is this: people believe it. The rise of techno-paranoia. We live in a time where people already distrust institutions, governments, news, algorithms. VAR fits into that world perfectly. It's technology, but it's not transparent. It's official, but it's not open. It's supposed to be objective. But we never really see how it works, so naturally, it becomes a target. Memes start, tweets go viral, clips get millions of views, and trust, it erodes. VAR and mental health. Let's not ignore the players either. When goals are constantly reviewed, celebrations become awkward, delayed, robotic. A striker scores, then freezes, looks over his shoulder, waits. That emotional release? The moment every kid dreams of? It's been replaced by doubt. Even coaches hesitate. Even fans. Football was always unpredictable. But now, it feels like the emotion is being sanitized. The fantasy of a perfect game. At its core, VAR was built on a dream, to make football fair. But fairness in football has never just been about decisions. It's about spirit, passion, emotion, chaos. And here's a hard truth. You can't remove chaos from football without also removing what makes it beautiful. Enter AI referees. Now imagine this future. No humans in the VAR room. No referees on the pitch. Just artificial intelligence. Real-time tracking. 100% accurate calls. Would it be perfect? Maybe. Would it feel like football? Probably not. There's a name for this vision. Fully automated officiating. Some are working on it already AI to detect fouls based on movement data. Sensors in balls and boots. Instant offside detection. No interpretation. No emotion. Just data. But if we remove human judgment entirely, what are we left with? What we're really losing. VAR was never just about cameras. It was about control. The belief that we could fix football. But fixing something doesn't always mean improving it. Ask any fan what they love about the game. They'll say things like the last-minute drama, the injustice, the rage, the unforgettable moments that shouldn't have happened, but did. Maradona's hand of God? VAR would have canceled it, and maybe that would have been right. But would football be the same without that moment? So where does this leave us? VAR has changed the game forever. There's no going back. But the question isn't whether we should keep VR. It's whether we should trust it. And trust doesn't come from rules. It comes from honesty, from openness, from being willing to admit when something isn't working. Final thought: football is more than just goals and whistles. It's a mirror of us, messy, passionate, imperfect, but alive. Maybe that's why VAR feels so cold, because in trying to correct the chaos, we risk losing the soul. So the next time VAR steps in and the screen flashes, checking possible offside, ask yourself, are we watching a game or a system? And more importantly, who's really in control?